How's it going, guys? Oh, man. Franchise is dead. You know, the New York Giants as we know it. Long gone are the days when players would come home to retire. Long gone are the days when OC and Justin Tuck would feel like coming back. Place is a complete shithole now. It's disappointing to support such assholes. You know, grew up a fan. I don't think I'll turn my back to the New York Giants. I'm just really disappointed in the ownership. We had a classy organization with Tom Coughlin who'd stay loyal to guys. And, you know, Eli Manning, he's 2004. For guys in their early 20s like myself, he is Giants football. And you just, flat out, you just don't treat a legend like this. And Eli could have helped out the next quarterback of the future. And Geno's not that guy. And he still has years left to play. And bottom line is the Giants owners, you know what they are? They're a bunch of pussies. Bottom line, bunch of pussies. They won't fire Ben McAdoo. They want to create a whole shit show for no reason. Giants could have let Eli quarterback 2 to 3 more years and let Davis progress. Instead, they're going to let Davis go in with a complete shithole of a coach. And it doesn't make any sense because the coach is getting fired, so the fucking playbook's going to be different anyway. And if you let Ben McAdoo stay, well, then you can assure that I'm not already going to the games, but I barely will turn it on the TV next year. So this makes no fucking sense. For Ben McAdoo, it makes a lot of sense. That asshole that is the head coach of the New York Giants that treats his players like robots and runs them into the ground on Saturday and is fool's gold. And the only reason the Giants were good last year is because of Spags in that defense. I mean, they won every game like the Kansas City game. But the Mariners are too dumb now. And it's disappointing to watch owners get really dumb, but also to treat Eli Manning. The reason why I'm upset is because Eli Manning's a legend. He does everything the right way. He's everything that the Giants symbolizes. He's everything that being a Giant is. He's there with Strahan. He's there with Justin Tuck. He beat out Tiki Barber when Tiki Barber ripped Eli. And Tiki Barber back in 2007 said Eli lacked leadership. Eli's been through it all. You know, this will be nothing to Eli Manning. I mean, when he threw 4 picks against the Vikings and the whole fan base wanted to tear him apart, when he lost 23-0 to the Carolina Panthers and laid an egg in the playoffs, when he was constantly reminded that he's not Peyton and he'll never be Peyton and he's just little brother. Eli Manning's the ultimate reason why, he's one of the reasons why I'm a huge Giants fan. I mean, it supplemented my love for the Giants. I mean, other than having blood in my family, other than living, a couple of hours from MetLife Stadium or from Giants Stadium. I still like calling it Giants Stadiums. Sorry, Jet Central. I still have fond memories. I still have fond memories of Eli going into Dallas and hitting Toomer down the sideline. I have memories of the play action to Tyree or to Toomer to end the first half, the 2-minute drill. I have memories of him in Plexico schooling Al Harris in fucking negative 30 degrees. I have memories of the greatest play in Super Bowl history and Eli Manning beating the greatest team to ever play a sport in the New England Patriots. That 18-0 Patriots team was the greatest team to ever play any sport in the history of our lives. They were an unbeatable force. It was the ultimate David versus Goliath. The ultimate Tom Brady has everything. The wife, the reputation, the 3 championships. 18-0. One of the greatest receivers of all time. Greatest slot receivers. I think they had Aaron Hernandez at that time. And then you had guys on defense in their prime on that team. Harrison, Seymour. That game and that final drive symbolizes everything about Eli Manning. And the play to Tyree wouldn't have happened if Eli doesn't have the mental fortitude, the competitive nature, the never say die. Eli's the most resilient athlete almost that I've ever seen in my life. So this will be nothing to him. I'll never forget, sitting in the end zone in Glendale that day, when Eli hit Plexico for the touchdown. And then I was excited, but I was like, there's 35 seconds left. We better fucking, we're only up 3. And then, Justin got a sack, and Tom Brady threw it, and we deflected it out, and Eli went out 1 second left. That was the greatest play. 1 second left, knowing that you just beat the greatest team ever. And then 11. Eli again. Hitting Victor Cruz against the Jets in the game where horrible first half, right? So you're like, maybe the Giants probably not going to make the playoffs this year. Okay. So then they beat the Jets, and the defense starts heating up. Then they go, and they play an 8:30 game against Dallas. They beat the Cowboys. One of the greatest games ever, probably, of our lives. Beating Dallas Sunday night, win the freaking East. Send Dallas home. Last game of the freaking season for everybody in the NFL watching at home. Then we play Atlanta. Eli hits Knicks. We're up 2-0. No, I believe that they're up 2-0. No, we win the game like 24-2. Our defense just comes alive, and then no one gives us a chance. We're playing a team that only lost once with one of the greatest quarterbacks ever. We're going into Wisconsin. We're not going to beat Green Bay again. That's what they all said. That's what they told Eli. That's what they told us. We went and we beat him. And Eli, he threw a Hail Mary at the buzzer. Do you know the Hakeem Nicks? Then Eli, we played one of the scariest games of my whole life, the San Fran game. In a game that seemed to last 7 hours. Unlike the first Green Bay game that was pretty aesthetically pleasing with Brett Favre hitting Driver, a legendary game in the cold. Sorry. The Niners game felt like the field was about 500 yards long, and it felt like you were living in a nightmare. Now I know we are living in a nightmare now. Then Eli hits Manningham. Those 2 runs are incredible, and I know you guys are going to say you're living in the past. You're living in the damn past. You're living in the past. Eli Manning's damn capable. Eli Manning has great arm strength. Eli Manning is smart as a whip. Eli Manning has elite arm strength. He's never had a year like Joe Flacco has. You can say that he's not a Drew Brees or an Aaron or a Tom. It's true. Eli can't throw the ball 50 times. And lead a franchise. And that's okay. He's a Hall of freaking Famer. Terry Bradshaw couldn't do that crap. Phil Simms couldn't. Joe Namath certainly couldn't. Excuse me, I'm sorry. But Troy Aikman was the exact same way. He had Emmitt Smith. He had a running game. He had a team around him. I know that Elway, Unitas, and Marino, Marino's even more pure of a passer than even Ben Roethlisberger is, but to be a Hall of Famer, you just gotta have the neck. You gotta have the never satisfied, the never say die attitude. And Eli Manning, what really describes Eli Manning? And I know this is kind of a tribute to him now because the era is probably coming to an end because our owners are pussies, and they won't keep him on staff, and they won't let him go 2 to 3 more years, and they won't let him have his moment like his brother. Anyway. I could talk about this for 5 freaking hours. I really can, because Eli's the childhood. He's our childhood. What can I say? But Eli Manning, what described him the best? And he should say this in his Hall of Fame speech, and I could probably talk at his damn Hall of Fame speech if you want to have me. I won't use as many vulgar words. I can assure you I'll clean up my hair, and I'll shave better and look a lot better in Canton as well. And I can assure you that if I'm healthy, I'm going to that thing in Canton, and I ain't going to miss that. That'll be the first time I ever go to Canton. Because the guy's that special. He's that special. There's franchises that haven't won championships ever. Eagles, Vikings. Eli Manning's the type of guy where you ride with him. He's not satisfied until you win. He's an amazing player. Sure, he can throw you a pick. Sure, he's imperfect. That makes you love Eli more. He is an underdog. He's not blessed. He's not like a Russell Wilson escapability. He doesn't have the arm strength of Stafford or Cam Newton. But he's a guy that will play action fake you. He's a guy that I remember. I remember the pass. Oh, my God. Never going to get my voice clear, am I? I remember the pass to Tiki against the Denver Broncos. I remember, man, oh, man. Lucky that's not vodka, right? Anyway, I remember the pass, to Kevin Boss to beat the Patriots in Foxborough in the regular season. I remember, Plexico Burress, Eli Manning. He would always show up, man. Love that guy. And you wouldn't get the consistency, but I won't trade it in for anything for the championships. He's, what he's like, I'm always going to remember him for the Super Bowls. And I can admit that there's been games where he's deteriorated, just like my voice. Hopefully you guys will hang on. The game against Philly when he threw 63 times, you could see the end. But he still got up for that Green Bay game last year. And but this is what I'll remember about Eli. And I'll do so many other videos. There's still a chance we keep him. There's still a chance that Ben McAdoo leaves, that Geno just gets cut, and then Eli still starts in front of Webb because, oh my God, we're the LA Rams and just need a great head coach. We need a unifier right now, and the Giants are panicking, making dumb decisions. The owners won't fire Ben McAdoo. They're dumb, and you have no control. Maybe if we go picket, if we get loud, they'll know our displeasure. But it doesn't make any sense because Eli, with this defense, he still has the arm strength to play in this league. He's going to go play 2 to 3 more years. He'll probably win a championship somewhere else. If he wins a championship somewhere else, I'll be his biggest fan, no doubt. I mean, I can't be a fan of Ben McAdoo. I can't be a fan of the new regime and the way that things are going around here. I can't be a fan of guys, of suspending guys, of no communication, of not all paddling in the same direction. Ben throwing Eli under the bus, just benching him. And Ben has no answers. And the way that he treats his players and things, he's just ill-equipped for the job. And instead of, keeping Eli Manning and letting Davis just sit under him, you're now confusing the situation with Geno Smith. And Davis can use a couple of more years under Eli. You have a defense that's ready to win a championship. You saw how they played against Kansas City. Giants ownership are dumb. They're panicking. They're turning into Cleveland right in front of our damn eyes. I mean that. You know what Cleveland Browns, you know what shit franchises like Sacramento Kings and Cleveland Browns do? They change quarterbacks and coaches every single freaking year. So, congrats, John Mara. You're rich. We can't touch your ass. Maybe we could scold it a little bit if it gets kind of loud. If we get loud. Eli Manning, though, this is what I want to talk about, the memory. So I was watching, Panthers, Broncos, rooting for, Peyton to win his last football game that he's going to play in. Denver, I liked Wade Phillips, Von Miller, and even, DeMarcus Ware. I wanted that team to win. I respect Ware a lot. He's one of those Cowboys like Jason Witten, even like Brian Dawkins, of teams that I dislike, where I really kind of respect their careers and how they go about things. They're true pros. So when the Broncos were winning that game, they flashed up. Broncos recovered a touchdown. They were up 14 with 3 minutes left, and Eli wasn't celebrating. And everybody's like, Eli's just pissed, at his brother's going to win another championship. And he's jealous, and he's pissed that the Broncos are going to win, and he's sitting up there in the booth. But no, Eli Manning was worried. The game wasn't over, and it was a 14-point lead. He always feared the worst. He never would stop until the game is done. The ultimate competitor. Every time on the sideline, he's studying the model of consistency. If only our society can work as hard as this guy, stay as grounded as this guy, and be as classy as this guy. And even today he said the right answer. And that's what makes it so sad, to see such a classy guy treated like shit. See your franchise stoop to this level of being unclassy, of being assholes towards Eli Manning. Treating Eli Manning like he's a pile of dust. A guy that just did everything for you. Like you're going to forget your great history. Like you're going to forget the fans that packed your stadium. Like you're going to forget our heritage of the 5 Super Bowls, of the Taylor years, of Bill Parcells, stuff before I was born, of Phil Simms, of guys that, of Armstead, Jason Sehorn, of guys that paved the way for a franchise. Antonio Pierce, Strahan, Umenyiora, Justin Tuck, even guys like Webster came in there. Chase Blackburn, who decided to come win another ring after he was teaching a math class, a 5th grade math class, and he decided, I'm going to go back to this franchise because I love it, and I'm going to go in the Super Bowl, and I'm going to battle one of the greatest tight ends ever, and I'm going to make an interception on him to help the Giants win a freaking ring instead of coaching 5th grade math class. I can assure you now, if Chase Blackburn was coaching 5th grade math class, I don't care if that's the crappiest group of 5th graders ever. He ain't leaving that class. Not for an organization that treats a legend, that treats a quarterback that has been here for 10 to 15 years, and they treat him like he's not one of their own. They treat him like he's Josh Johnson. Just say, nah, we're going to put in a quarterback from the New York Jets, has played for 4 years and's been awful everywhere he's gone. And then we're going to put in a rookie from Cal, and we're going to draft another quarterback. We're going to have a quarterback battle. We're going to change everything. At least the Giants could have gotten rid of Eli in the offseason. Or, just thrown in Davis very late in the season. At least told Eli what the hell was going on. And but it made no difference anyway, even if Webb played, because you're going to get in a new coach. And here's the thing, though. While it's sad to see Eli Manning in this light, it's not over. The Giants could go ahead and fire Mara. I think Mara is acting kind of like bitchy, honestly. Like I said, I used words before that were a little vulgar. It's going to happen when you watch your franchise treating someone of this magnitude this poorly. You're going to get frustrated and angry. You're also going to laugh and say it's ridiculous. Your fandom is going to be challenged. It certainly is, Giants fans. Your fandom's going to be challenged. You're going to be challenged a lot. This year, John Mara wants to make this year and just bury our franchise when we could have simply been Jeff Fisher, Giants fans. Look at this defense. Look at the game against Kansas City. And you tell me if this team should have panicked. Maybe there's a reason that there's so many people out there that are fans because they panic. And the Maras are acting like they're playing fantasy football. This is a team with Spagnuolo that made the playoffs last year, that has Landon Collins. You're paying Jenkins a ton of money. You have Vernon. All those guys hit. You went from the worst defense in league history to a really good defense that easily could have won a Super Bowl last year. That went to Green Bay, played their asses off until they ran out of gas. All right. Played a fantastic game. Had one of the great seasons ever on defense. You have running backs. You just need a coordinator and a coach. I mean, Jared Goff and Sean McVay changed that around. Sean McDermott goes and wins. Doug Peterson can go and win in a second. You just need a guy to just unite. And that's the thing. Like, even if Geno and these guys start, just like cut Geno. Let Geno go compete for a starting job. Don't just keep him as a backup quarterback. Let Davis be kind of a backup, so that everybody kind of knows your plan, because it's not even fair to Geno Smith that he's getting thrown in this circus. Because Geno Smith, I'll tell you what about Geno, he could play on the Texans right now and do better than Savage. He's not a backup. You're just holding him there. It was a really dumb decision. You never want to have a great backup quarterback unless the guy's a rookie. That's my whole theory, and I'm pretty much backed up on it by having Chase Daniel in New Orleans, Anyway, so this is the whole situation. My friend said to me today, if you didn't podcast today, you might as well be dead. And Giants have pretty much been, my life. It's Scott Pizzle's life. It's many of y'all's life. Your NFL team, your college team, NFL football. It's life. I love that it's life, to tell you the truth. It's a thing I love, Decent news that life will go on. And if Eli goes to Jacksonville, I'll have a very hard time not rooting for him. I'm going to root the hell out of him in Jacksonville. I almost want him to find a better situation. Ben McAdoo's trying to save his job. The owner's not firing Ben McAdoo. So if the owners can get in Eli's head and tell Eli that it's okay, if they can tell Eli Manning that it's okay, then and they're going to hire a new coach and Geno gets cut and everything and you trim down the quarterback, so then it's just Eli and Davis doing it. Because, this doesn't make sense at all, right? I mean, if the Giants are drafting like Josh Rosen, are you going to have, Geno? Are you going to have like Geno, Davis Webb, and Josh Rosen on staff? So it makes no sense. And again, you're firing the coach. So you're playing in a system that makes no sense at all. So you're not gaining any progression. Like Giants fans that say this is the right move, it makes no sense unless you want to keep Ben McAdoo in this offense and build upon the foundation. You're not building upon anything, because when the new coach comes in, it's like learning a new language and it takes like 1 or 2 years to even adapt. So for Eli, who's a veteran, he could probably handle that palette and he could kind of figure it out. He's been through every kind of system. And why would Davis Webb, or even if you draft Josh Rosen, why the heck wouldn't you want them to sit behind Eli Manning? And then if Eli continues to play poorly under a new coach that actually puts him in position to succeed, then it could be like a Kurt Warner thing, okay? And then Eli would maybe be a McNabb, all right? And then in the offseason, Giants fans would see complete deterioration, that he can't function in the system. And Eli would maybe retire, or he'd go start somewhere else. We'd pull for him. The Giants would be on to their new quarterback, whether it be Webb or Josh Rosen. And then the Young Bucks can battle it out. But Eli Manning, on a team that's quit, on a team with no receivers, on a team that right now has awful tackle play at the offensive line position and does not have a star running back, why did you expect Eli Manning to succeed when the team is literally getting suspended, the whole team is in disarray, the coach treats the player like shit? How can you accurately depict that Eli Manning is done when you're watching this thing happen? How can you accurately depict that the guy is done? I mean, you still see the guy can throw 40, 50 yards. You saw Peyton Manning be able to still play at a high level without having amazing arm strength like his youth. And why wouldn't you want the classiest, hardest working guy to mentor Josh Rosen? Why would you, even if the Giants select a quarterback, why would you not want Eli to help pass the torch? Why do you want to force out a legend? Why do you want to do that? I know Eli's a competitor, but he even said today that during this disaster, he will help out Davis Webb. If you listen to everything that Davis and Geno Smith, that every backup, that David Carr, who works at the NFL Network, has said about Eli Manning, is that he's not a guy like a Brett Favre that's honestly not going to help out his backup quarterback out of paranoia. He helps you out completely. He's in your corner. He jokes around with the locker room. He's one of the most unifying forces. He's a prankster. He's hilarious. For everybody that says Eli Manning shows no emotion on the sideline, Eli's a serious football player, but Eli can smile. Eli will cheer. Eli Manning is there for his teammates, and you ask every single one of his teammates. And the Giants owners are deciding to go in a route where they're letting Ben McAdoo right now. They're letting Ben McAdoo force out the unifier, and they're letting the divider have power in Ben McAdoo. And it's just a horrible, horrible decision. It's a rash, quick-to-judgment decision, and I hope it's not a huge deal. Eli's not cut. The whole thing, we will know everything by the time that these 5 games that we're not going to watch are over. I'm not watching these 5 games. I mean, frankly, my YouTube hits would really go up if I did a Davis Webb recap. Even if Davis throws 5 touchdowns, I'll be happy for Davis Webb, but I know that Ben McAdoo is not going to stay, no matter what. Okay? There's so many things that are just wrong. I'm not a fan of Odell Beckham, especially the fact that he went to Miami, especially the fact that Victor Cruz was kind of ousted, and that whole thing happened last year. It was just that was a bad situation. And Odell Beckham, I don't want him really as the leader of my franchise. He's a talented player, but he's a guy that I think is more interested in selling commercials than he is winning football games. I want guys like Nix. I want guys like Tuck. I want legends. I want Strahan. I want serious guys like freaking Julio Jones. The Alabama kids are serious. Amari Cooper. No one's as bombastic as freaking Odell Beckham. Like, he's the most bombastic, drama-centered guy ever. Like, it's New York City. Our reporters are bombastic enough. Why do you need that? You know? Look at the Eagles. You think Alshon Jeffrey is, setting records there? Alshon Jeffrey's best trait is his unselfishness. That's why their team's so damn good. Like, if Nelson Aguilar, a guy who's getting paid $500,000, like, outperforms Alshon Jeffrey, who's getting paid $10 to $12 million, he ain't sulking. But I can't say the same about Odell Beckham. I just can't. Just from witnessing that. Odell wants to be the best. Let him go to a team and rack stats and prove me wrong, man. But unless he changes, Odell, he's made some strides, but it's too much pressure to feed the dude the rock. So those are just a lot of thoughts packed into a 27 to 28 minute video. Kind of a little tribute in the beginning, but I know Giants fans. If you guys are Giants fans, I think you'll enjoy this video. It comes from the heart, It's a fan's video. It's what YouTube is for. It's what Periscope's for. It's what Twitter's for. So y'all will like it. I'll try to upload this soon. And I'm going to be talking about this a lot. This is just the beginning of this story. It makes my job of reporting on the Giants, interesting, but it's disappointing to see your franchise go to this level and treat a player like this and be as impulsive and rash as this. But we don't have John Mara money. We're not controlling. We're going to have to rally together on this one and get our voices across and in a coherent fashion, especially like the second part of the video. First part was a little too emotional. They won't probably listen to that. But if we're, as balanced as we are in the second part, I think that I think we can pose some interesting arguments and just get rid of Ben and let Ben go off and do his thing and keep Eli around for the young guys and let Eli have a couple more cracks at this thing, keep the defense together, and then just let the thing rebuild. So no need to rush. We live in a fast society. Everybody wants everything now. You have a great leader, a great mentor, the stable rock of your franchise. Don't push him off that rock. Let him stay there and celebrate everything that he's brought